Hey folks, this is Bill from Little White Dory, and I'm just sort of going around checking up on some of the crazy stuff I've been picking up. I think I have a new disease called Craigslistitis, and I'll tell you, if you hawk that stuff, boy, you can find good deals. So we picked up a bunch of stainless steel, kitchen equipment. This is my 3-bay sink. I've got a little, they told me this was they called it a bottle washing stand, but these little posts here go into the drains, and somehow you're able to, I don't know, keep them clean. I haven't figured this out yet, but this is just a tray that will hook on the front. We also got a steam table, and this is up against my wall. It's all stainless, which is kind of cool. Even if I don't use it, I can probably resell it. But this holds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the full trays, and you just pour hot water in there, and then there's a drain over here. Something I picked up about a year or so ago was these cattle gates, or corral gates, whatever you want to call them. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 of them in total, and I'll probably be putting some of these up on Craigslist because I'm using 2, but it was such a good deal that I took them all, and I think I can get back just by selling these, everything I paid for this, plus an electric fence system. But, it gets a little crazy. I've been watching. I found this drill press for $20, and it was a pretty good deal. I mean, it works perfectly. Came with a table. The guy that I was buying it from also threw in a Sawzall and a Husky pneumatic tools stuff. I don't know, a bunch of different stuff. And it was all for it was 20 or 25 for the drill. Came with the table, and the other stuff he just gave me because he didn't want to have to put it away. It was the end of his, I guess, a garage sale or something. So some of the other stuff, we picked up another trailer, just what I needed, right? So I have the little baby version of this, and I've been toting it around. You've seen it in my videos in the past as the basis for what size chicken coop or chicken tractor I built. This is a 5x8, and as you can see, the tires are these little, I don't know, 8 inches, 8.5 inches. I don't know what the size of it is, but they're the small ones. It's worked really well, and it's held enough weight. I could fill it with wood chips or compost, and it's just a plywood deck. This trailer happens to have a tilt feature to it, which is kind of nice. But the other day I saw this trailer, and this was kind of a barn find. Guy bought it, never used it. The tires still have little nubbies on them. Everything's in perfect condition. And it's the same footprint as that, 5x8. But this one has the gate, the rear gate or ramp. So I can flip this over, and wouldn't you know, it happens to be able to fit my Yanmar tractor. So if I do wind up keeping the tractor, we'll probably be able to port it. So I'll just take a quick walk around to the front of the house. We're definitely in the fall at this point. We got our first real frost, I would say, last night, although it only really was like 32 degrees. It wasn't, hard frost. This is what's left of my Carolina Reapers. They're, you can see if I look close that the leaves are starting to brown a bit. Well, there's a cricket that's still bouncing around over here. He's probably wishing he was, he just ran right behind the staircase. There's another one. We get these crickets here, and I hope I can see him here. I don't know if you see him. I can't see him because the sun is so dark, but there he is. And they are about done. The weather goes cold and they start going slow, but it's getting quiet finally at the end of the night. Well, relatively speaking, we have all the traffic still. So there's the tractor. It's out on the front lawn. I'm trying to get a few bucks for that. See if I can turn it around. But that now will fit on the new trailer. So if I do wind up selling it, I can promise a delivery. If I don't sell it, I might look into using it for whatever. I don't know. I'll find something. Finally got out and give the new van a little bit of a car wash today. It was very dusty. I was kind of hoping that dust would not be a factor, but it is. So I always cursed the black car because it's too hard to keep clean, and I thought this would be a little bit lighter, We're liking it. It's different. It's a lot of getting used to. It's only a 4-cylinder engine, but it got me 32 miles to the gallon the other day going out to pick up this trailer. Now, I can't tow this trailer with anything on it with that vehicle, but I can tow it empty. And then I have the 4Runner, which we're going to keep because we've got the camper, the RV. So we've got now my 2 new gardens over here. This is 3 different kinds of garlic in here. I'd say probably about 200 heads went in here. Another 200 heads go into here. And I have 2 different kinds. I don't remember which ones, but there's hardnecks. The majority of them, well, I shouldn't say the majority of them are hardneck. It's probably about 50-50. I wound up panicking about where I was going to get my garlic from. This is Olivia's Oblivion garden from 2 years ago, I guess. And the asparagus did very well. I've been told by my friend Rob, the sapper gardener, that all I've got to do is cut this stuff back, I guess once it's dead, and leave the roots obviously intact, and that next year hopefully I'll have some decent asparagus that we can start eating it. I didn't eat any this year because I think you have to let it build up. In this back corner over here, I replanted, because this is where I had my garlic last year, I replanted some of the bulbs of garlic from last year. I only had like maybe 7 or 8 of them. I ate them, gave them away. We got some strawberries that worked out last year, so I'm seeing maybe the strawberries will be okay with the garlic. The strawberries being only over there for now, I'm expecting that they'll fill in, and I'm hoping that they'll coexist with the asparagus, because the asparagus will obviously grow up through it. The garlic, I think I can just get this one more season out before the strawberries take over. We've got this garden, well, we had the tarp here over it. I have to reset that. We had some big wind the other day. Of course, I guess everybody up and down the East Coast got some of that wind. But we refreshed this garden with a little bit more of the sweet peat that we filled the other gardens with. That's one of my chickens that's doing some serious molting. We got a lot of chickens molting right now. And out of 8, I've only got like 3. The most I've seen is 3 eggs now for some time. Moving back along here, we did finally yesterday pull out the balance of the tomatoes, and you can see there's still quite a few. The chickens will get to these eventually. I gave them, and I don't know whether they should be eating it or not, I gave them the plants with the tomatoes left on them, and as well as that peppers. So I had a fairly good crop of peppers this year. Needless to say that just the Carolina Reapers, but we set the back end of the yard here. This is kind of like a little makeshift pen system that I'm letting the girls out into. They've got the protection of that plum tree, and as long as they're close to this fence here, it's a limited amount of visibility for hawks, although I say that, and yesterday when I let the girls out, just after I let them run free, what did they do? I look up and I see 3 hawks circling above. Hey Hootie, what's up? Hootie's my green egg layer. Hasn't laid a green egg in probably about a month. Hopefully she'll come back online soon. She's molted. The other girls are chilling over there. I guess they're looking for the sun, but they seem to be sitting in the shade. And they're all doing well. They've molted. They're happy. We got rid of that one Rhode Island Red that was quite aggressive, along with Sydney. You know, Sydney wound up going with Chica back to Sydney's original owners. Way back when I first got the chickens, my friend had this one gray, I guess they call it lavender, Easter egger, who only lays about 30 eggs a year around between St. Patrick's and Easter. The 3 years that I had her, it's pretty much right on St. Patrick's Day she started laying green eggs. So it was rather kind of comical and fun. And we're down to 8, and no aggression amongst these birds, with the exception of over here we have Buffy. Buffy, she's just too gentle, too kind. She won't stand up for herself, so sometimes she won't go into the coop at night. She'll stay out in the cage, which in the summer I've been letting her. Now, last night I physically picked her up and put her into the coop for the night. So, again, along with these makeshift pens here, we also have the chicken tractor. Unfortunately, the plastic I had on it really turned out to be garbage, and barely lasted, what, a year, I guess. And that's sad because it was supposed to be like 4 years or something, or UV treated. Clearly it wasn't. So we'll be taking this apart shortly. We still have the Woods finish cutter over here. I took it off the tractor just so that I could use the tractor for more pointless things, you know, like moving this trailer around with the camper. We've got this parked back here for the winter. I got myself a little compost pile. Let's see if I've got any temperature. I didn't add water, so this is going to have really all winter to cook, but let's see if I can see the temperature. Well, it's about 50 degrees out, and this is reading 73, so there's some stuff going on, just not a lot. And that's a combination of grass clippings and wood chips from the coop. Alrighty, folks. I guess some things are still kind of hanging in there. These mandavillas, I thought would be toast, but I'm looking and I see a few flowers that look like they're still going to open up. So maybe it didn't quite freeze over here. That one looks like it's a little more toast. Let's see. We had these roses. This is a climbing rose. They're still kind of hanging in there. Thorns, though, wow. Talk about thorns. Hopefully next year we'll get this to cross over and I can retrain this one a bit. Chickens are all happy. They're all fed. I'm feeding half the population, I think, of Long Island on all the little starlings and what's the other one I'm thinking of? Finches. Finches? Yeah, I guess so. Sparrows, finches, whatever it takes. And that's about it. The temperature has definitely dropped. I'm loving it. It's the only time of year where I can kind of claim that I'm not going to be sweating like crazy. I've got some of the things over here stacked and kind of set for the winter. I'll probably move them a little bit. Oh, and here's some of the other stuff that I picked up. This is going to go behind the garage, so I have a sort of a slop sink. But between this piece of stainless, the hand washing stainless, this amazing heavy-duty stainless table, the 3-wash or 3-bay sink, and the steam table, I got them for a song and a dance. So for the price I paid, I took it. Again, if I don't use it, I can sell it, and I'm sure I can make more than I paid for it. But I'll try to use it. One of the plans I have is to potentially turn the old trailer I have into a somewhat of a food concession stand. Unfortunately, my brain doesn't stop working. So what I'm thinking of doing is setting up on this trailer something that I can have Board of Health approve. So I need the 3-bay sink, I need the hand washing, I need a few different things to keep them happy. But on this 5x8 trailer, I'm thinking about setting it up so that I can do some sort of food vending. My idea would be to make my own tortillas. So water, cornmeal or flour and salt to make little dough balls in a little tortilla press. Then use my little green egg to cook them. They'll go quickly. The temperature I can get on that little green egg is quite high. So just a few seconds on that and we'll certainly be able to get a toasted tortilla. And then I'm thinking with the smokers and stuff like that, just like a pulled pork sandwich with a few sides, you know, maybe lettuce, pickles, I don't know, coleslaw, tomatoes, whatever I can come up with, and all prepped in advance. The only thing I'd be doing is cooking the tortillas and heating or reheating the pulled pork. So I don't know. I'm working on that idea. There's tons of places around here that have summer festivals, so if I can get a booth space at a couple of them with, you know, Board of Health approval, it makes it much easier, and show up and sell some stuff. I may have talked in the past, I have relatives that were competitive barbecuers, and I've attended many of their competitions, and the amount of money people pay for a pulled pork sandwich is just off the charts, and the profitability of it is quite alluring. So stay tuned, we'll see what I can come up with. I'll be building that over the winter. One of the other things I bought was a Globe gravity slicer, meat slicer. Quite old, but it works. It's got a new blade, new stones to sharpen it, and I'm going to be taking that apart and cleaning it, really. That's all it needs. And then being able to slice my bacon. Love making the bacon. Alrighty, folks. I don't know. I'm just thinking that this is like an update like so many others, but it's the change of seasons and, you know, just a little inspiration to get out and take a look, see what I'm doing. Let me flip you guys around for a second. Whoops, that's the wrong hand. So we're doing the No Shave November, although I started in August. And I don't have a fast-growing beard, not by a long shot. In fact, I think I even have a couple of bald spots over here, so it may not last. We'll see. What else is new around here? Not much. Kind of quiet. Good thing to say, it's just quiet. The winter's setting, or the fall is here. I'll kind of pan around. You can still see we have leaves up on the trees still. You know, my neighbors all have nice big trees, and they drop their leaves into my backyard. And so I try to just, with the leaf blower, scoot them along their way, so wherever Mother Nature might have really wanted them to go. Okay, folks, that was the update. We're going over 15 minutes, so this will be a longer one than usual. You all have a good day, and we hope to hear from you soon. Bye-bye.